Hey, fantasy football fans, you're back with Mike and Tim talking again with myself, the commish, my co-host here, the Rhino. And we're going to come to the conclusion on our 2012 quarterback rankings as we look at the final four, 1 through 4. We've covered 5 through 16 up to this point, and we'll go ahead and run those down for everybody right quick. Our number 5 quarterback was Cam Newton of the Carolina Panthers. Number 6 was Mike Vick, Philadelphia Eagles. Number 7, Eli Manning, New York Giants. Number 8, Phillip Rivers, San Diego Chargers. Number 9, Matt Ryan of the Atlanta Falcons. Number 10, Peyton Manning, Denver Broncos. Well, that's still different to say that.
Yeah, feels weird.
Number 11, Matt Schaub, Houston Texans. Number 12, Ben Roethlisberger of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 13 was Tony Romo, Dallas Cowboys. Number 14 was Jay Cutler, Chicago Bears. Number 15, Joe Flacco with the Baltimore Ravens. And number 16 was Josh Freeman of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Before we jump into 1 through 4, you want to tell them who we represent today?
Today we're representing Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Michael Vick, which was 6th on our board. And we got the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Who was number 12 on our rankings. Number 4.
Now, with the number 4 pick, that leaves me with taking Matthew Stafford off the board. The Detroit Lions have done a lot on offense, and if Matt Stafford can stay healthy, he showed last year with throwing for over 5,000 yards. That's one of those 5,000-yard quarterbacks we've been talking about. He threw for 41 touchdowns and 16 interceptions. The guy's got the greatest wide receiver right now playing in the NFL to throw the ball to in the Megatron. He throws the ball up. Calvin can go catch it. They got a good young receiver in Titus Young, and got a big target at tight end in Brandon Pettigrew. But I'd like to see more out of Pettigrew. He's not really stepped up to be what I'd like to see him be. So, the number 4, I think you're safe to take Matt Stafford off the board.
Yeah, when you've got Megatron to throw to, it's hard to go wrong. And that's the thing about these rankings, too. When we're looking at even all 4 of these guys, if you can get lucky enough to land either of the 4, you're going to be doing good. It's not as if you get number 3, you're not going to be out as good as number 1 or 2. You're there if you get any of these 4. Bringing up me at 3 now. I am going with New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady. Tom Brady, another one last year, over 5,000, over 5,200 yards, actually, 39 touchdowns. And Tom Brady, as much as I've always disliked the guy, he is a fantasy machine. He just continually puts up points year after year. And when you've got the weapons he's got now with those 2 big tight ends and Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski to throw to, you've got Wes Welker. How this guy continues to do it, I don't know. The most catches in the NFL over the last 5 seasons, consistently.
It's a very good stat.
100 catches a season, 120 catches a season, really. Of course, they brought in Brandon Lloyd this year as well. They just so many targets there, and the way that system works, Brady is going to. It's such a timing-based system. He's going to complete those passes, and he's going to pick up those yards. So, if you can grab Tom Brady, you're not going to go wrong.
And so that brings back to me at number 2.
That's right, Rhino. You're on. Who we got going at number 2?
All right, number 2.
You got to take Drew Brees. Because you know who's left at 1. And but Drew Brees is that number 2 quarterback off the board. He's so explosive in that offense. The way he likes to throw the football. Set the record last year, 5,476 yards, 46 touchdowns, and only had 14 interceptions. His offense didn't lose nothing last year except for Robert Meacham. And they got Marcus Colston back, a good target for him. And Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham's a great tight end, and Darren Sproles proved last year that he could catch the ball coming out of the backfield, and that's another good target for Drew Brees. So I look for a big year out of Drew Brees again, another 5,000-yard season. Can't really say if he's going to break his own record or not, but he's your number 2 quarterback took off the board.
I'd say to be safe to say he'll attempt to break his own record, though, if he has anything to do about it. He's so determined there. He's a statistical machine as far as wanting his own numbers to be padded every chance he gets. So
it's kind of like, maybe he might not break his own yardage, just 5,476 yards, but I see him breaking that touchdown. He's wanting 46 last year. He's going to be chasing it more now. He's not
He's
got
going
the
to be going
yardage.
after it.
He's going to go after it.
And as we'll see later on in my NFL team rankings, he may need to try to break that touchdown record. And I'm not going to dive any further into that. All right, so that brings us to the number 1 quarterback, Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers. And again, before I talk about Rodgers, I'll say that if you can grab any of these top 4, you're going to be doing great by getting them. There's not a big difference separating them. But with Rodgers last year, 4,600 yards. Here's the amazing stat: 45 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions.
Wow.
That's just amazing. TD to interception ratio. Of course, now, one thing about Aaron Rodgers, he lost his offensive coordinator, Joe Philbin, went to head coach of Miami Dolphins now. They brought in Tom Clements, or let me say not brought him in, but they moved up Tom Clements to the offensive coordinator, who was the quarterback coach last year. So I don't really see that being any kind of hiccup in how the offense will work. Aaron Rodgers is almost like Peyton now. He's doing his own offense. He's taking his own shots, calling his own plays. So Aaron Rodgers, number 1.
And he kept all his targets. Good receiver in Greg Jennings. I'd like to see a good, healthy year from Jermichael Finley for him, because that's another good red zone threat. Could have more of those touchdowns. So
yeah, you got Greg Jennings and James Jones and Donald Driver's back. Jordy Nelson, who's going to be a steal if you can get him in, and wide receivers. And Michael Finley. I mean, it's just a non-stop production there of wide receivers who can perform. So we'll give you a quick recap now of our top 16. Rhino, if you want to, you go ahead and run down that list for us.
At number 1, we just had Aaron Rodgers, number 1 quarterback. Our number 2 was Drew Brees. Number 3, Tom Brady. 4, Matthew Stafford. 5, Cam Newton. 6, Mike Vick. 7, Eli Manning. 8, Phillip Rivers. 9, Matt Ryan. Number 10, have Peyton Manning, and that just feels so weird. Number 11, you had Matt Schaub. 12, Big Ben Roethlisberger. 13, we had Tony Romo. 14, we had Jay Cutler. 15, we had Joe Flacco. And at 16, we had Josh Freeman.
It's a pretty good lineup.
That's good.
Now, we've left some guys out. There's some names not on our list. Carson Palmer, Sam Bradford. Of course, the 2 big rookies, RG3 and Andrew Luck. You got Matt Hasselbeck, or that's a situation you could have Matt Hasselbeck, could have Jake Locker. It's going to depend on how Hasselbeck performs early on as to how quick Locker will get a chance. Andy Dalton, who come on big last year for Cincinnati.
Andy Dalton's that quarterback that I had. He was breaking into that top 16 already, I thought.
And with A.J. Green to throw to, that's a combination that's going to be tough for defenses for many years to come. So there's a lot of quarterbacks we may not have mentioned in those top 16, but like we've said, the quarterback class is very close. So you're not really going to go wrong. If you decide that you want to go running back early, draft a quarterback like a Matt Schaub or Ben Roethlisberger a little later in your draft, 3rd, 4th round. But if you do decide you want to spend that 1st round pick on one, we're saying Rodgers, Stafford, Brees, or Brady. So see if you can bring one of those guys in.
So there you have it, fantasy football fans. That's Mike and the Rhinos quarterback rankings 1 through 16.
We'll be back with our running back rankings coming up shortly. We're going to do that in a 4-part series where we're going to break down our top 24 running backs. And until next time,
this is Mike and Tim talking again.